going already? I didn't get a cue. But that's okay, because this is very impromptu. This is impromptu as it gets. I got a race to rehearsal. Just wrote this. My hair's falling out. I had chocolate on my face right before this. We're going to get through it. Happy National Coffee Day. This is fresh as fuck, okay? Here we go. We got some creme de la creme, which we're pouring out of this delightful little elephant. Just brewed this baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that cream. Look at it mixed together. Woo! Yeah. Alright. Follow me. We're going to go into a comfy spot. Everything's a little messy. Everything's a little thrown together here. Probably not great lighting, but it's alright. We're going to go to an inviting spot that perhaps does have some nice lighting. This is a spot I like to sip my coffee. Oh yeah, it's good and hot. So I just had to set the mood with this. And certainly don't have a fancy costume put together. Gotta go be a countess, you know. I have a lot of facets to my personality. A lot of strings pulling on me. So this coffee is serving me in more ways than one because it's going to amp me up for a little rehearsal. So here we go. I just wrote this. Happy National Coffee Day. What a great day to celebrate. It's called An Ode to a Cup of Joe. I have to thank Momo for my love of a good cup of joe. I don't know how I went so long without it. Before meeting her, nothing about a cup of coffee being stirred appealed to me one bit. On the contrary, I would practically throw a fit when my dad got it too close, and the smell of his dark roast repelled me. It's a pity. Friends would tell me how wonderful it was getting a good coffee buzz. How wonderful it was getting a good coffee buzz. I have to emphasize my own rhyming scheme, you know. How wonderful it was getting a good coffee buzz. But I shrugged and said, no thank you. Then something about staying up to the wee morning hours at acting school got me addicted to that caffeinated brew. I never had a clue how wondrous the sensation could be of watching the percolation in deep anticipation until the revelation when my lips and those first sips would meet. It was a feast for all my senses, and I instantly regretted my former Java defenses. I had been apprehensive about the dark water that was so often offered to me. What a world of discovery I'd been passing on, and since then our affair has been beautiful and long. A song of celebration comes through my soul when I hold that first warm cup. So many sensory memories, I just can't get enough. When I first went to New York City, I set a mission of having the world's best cup of coffee, and it was tough. The first few dozen cups I had left me asking, what is this stuff? I imagined their coffee would have the perfect frothy foam fluff and make me erupt in shouts and songs of joy and delight. But every restaurant and every coffee shop had the same styrofoam cups and got me shaking my head thinking, well, this just isn't right. After nearly a fortnight there, I dared not to give up on my expedition to find the perfect cup to treasure. We had the pleasure of befriending some Swedish film students who invited us to brunch the following day. The joint was called Supper. They cleverly served only breakfast, and the mug of coffee perfection they brought me was more extraordinary than I can say. Even $20 would have been a worthy price to pay for such a memorable flavor parade. The scent and romance and dance it did upon my tongue stayed with me. The degree it was heated to couldn't have been more perfect. The wait was more than worth it. The frothy cream was a smash hit. I kicked my lips? No, that's not accurate. I licked my lips so as not to waste an iota of that taste. The ecstasy of it was written all over my face. We weren't in some race to get out of there and took our time with luscious moments to spare. It was my last day in NYC, and that coffee paired with Scandinavian food brightened my sad mood about having to leave. The spectrum of taste bud tantalization was more than I could believe. Since then, I continue to feed my coffee addiction steadily. My social interactions rely upon Java heavily. Sometimes I get myself to go to bed just knowing that a cup of joe is ahead of me. The images created by the cream dancing with the steaming liquid gets my imagination fed dreamily. It's the ritual that starts my day meaningfully. It gives me a sort of superpower. But, as Agent Cooper says, damn good coffee is not about the coffee at all. It's about the experience. It's an encounter. That part of it does amount to a lot, but be it hot or iced, that sacred connection soars to new heights when the coffee, the company, and the backdrop is right. I have to fight off tears if I wake up somewhere and there is no coffee beans. In fact, it makes me want to scream. I need that warmth, that comfort, that steam to emerge from my dreams and begin my day. My demeanor becomes quite gray when I can't grasp a mug of the hot stuff and savor its inviting contents. It just gets you going, and that's my 2 cents. When I lived with my full-blooded fairy friend, she set a morning coffee precedent. I could have barely slept, or be bent out of shape, and want to escape LA. And then she would say, "Coffee's ready," and the sun would shine its golden rays upon an all-new way to see the world. She would swirl in just the right amount of cane sugar and love, and it shoved every negative thought out of my mind. I don't remember what kind of coffee it was. In fact, I think she alternated the source of our daily buzz. But whatever it was, she'd pour it into these large 1970s floral groovy mugs, and with the first sip, it was like the universe was giving me a big hug. Honestly, that coffee was like a drug. I'd have it elsewhere and kind of shrug like, is that it? Just didn't hit the same way. We made it ceremonial, like another Agent Cooper quote. "I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day. Give yourself a present. Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen. It could be a new shirt in a men's store, a catnap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee. The true test of any hotel, as you well know, Diane, is that morning cup of coffee. His wisdom hums softly when I pour myself a fresh brew. It's amazing I worked at breakfast joints for 12 long years, getting people's gears going, pouring and pouring and pouring more, and my love of the stuff wasn't subdued. Every time I hear it dripping, it's like my excitement is brand new and my face so bright. I feel at ease to have it in front of me. It's a craving I cannot fight. Like Agent Cooper's poetic description, like Dale Cooper's poetic description of how he likes it. Black as midnight on a moonless night. Of course, I prefer mine with a spot of cream. If he heard me profess my love for it, he'd think that was all right, in spite of his deeper wisdom. A perfect cup of joe is like being granted a wish. I will always honor Agent Cooper's advice to never drink coffee that has been anywhere near a fish. I honor the elixir most delish. I swish the first few sips, and all the things that feel amiss fade, and all the things that feel amiss fade. My bad moods can be swayed by a nicely brewed cup of Java displayed before me. You know, this is, excuse me, a damn fine cup of coffee. I've had, I can't tell you how many cups of coffee in my life, and this is one of the best. That last bit is also Agent Dale Cooper. Gotta quote my sources. So, yes, Agent Cooper, super duper. I gotta sip this and run off to go be the Countess. So, bless you, coffee. Hooray. Happy Coffee Day.